Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have here another 10 pens currently inked. I think let's go through these briefly one by one. We'll go through them in a little bit more detail and then we'll do a writing sample. So from left to right we have the Mike Green, and this is the Juma Golden Dragon. We have a Visconti Empire. We have a Cypress, and this is the Raden Mosaic number 4. We have a Cypress, and this is the Raden Dragon. We have a Visconti, and this is the Leonardo da Vinci Machina. We have a Visconti, and this is the last Templar Jacques de Molay. We have a Visconti Speakeasy. We have a Danitrio, and this is the Takumi Moonlit Grass. We have a Danitrio, the Ancient Dragon on Hyotan. And then we have a Danitrio, and this is a Bamboo Story. So I think let's take a look at these pens in more detail. This is the Mike Green, and this is the Juma Golden Dragon. And you can check his website out at mikespenfund.com. He really does make some beautiful pens. All of the pens on his website are actually available for sale. So they are in his current inventory. So if you like one there, do message him. And I think the prices are pretty reasonable there. I think they range from around about $170 upwards. I'd say the majority of them are probably around $170, $190. If you mention myself, Penultimate Dave, you'll get 15% off as well. This really is a beautiful material. Mike really does make some nice looking pens. I think he's got an eye for detail, an eye for the material. The polishing on this pen also is really good. I've got a number 6 size Bock, two-tone steel nib. It's a broad nib on this one. You cannot post the cap on this, but you do have a TWSBI converter here. I think it's a swipe converter. There's a lot of threads there. Those threads are very polished, so that body spins on nicely. And likewise, the cap as well. Now, has got a 3-thread start point. So that was 1, and that's 2, and then there's a third one. So normally only 1 lines up. But this is a really beautiful pen. A lot of chatoyance there. I do like that pen a lot. And I did buy a couple more Mike Green pens as well. I think they're reasonably priced. And I do like the size of those pens. The next pen inked up is one I've had inked up for a while now. It's the Visconti Empire. It's almost out on fumes. It's got a lovely cap coin finial there. A very nicely spring-loaded clip. It is a sterling silver overlay. It's a vermeil though, gold-plated sterling silver. And I have a number 6 size nib there. It's an 18 karat gold fine nib from Visconti. You can see in my hand it's actually a pretty decent size. I can post that cap. I just am very careful about that because there's no cap band at the very base of that cap. And what I have seen is caps like this are very prone to splitting. So if you're going to post that cap, you just need to be careful. I hate to see pens that are broken in one way or another. And so I do just try to warn people where possible that, yes, I know you really might want to post your caps and it's something you have to do, but just be very, very careful if you're doing so on some pens. The next pen inked up is the Cypress, and this is the Raden Mosaic number 4. I've had this one inked up for a few weeks as well. This really is a beautiful pen. The abalone, crushed abalone shells there really make this pen sparkle. I love the way that they've layered this so that no matter which way the light's coming from, it sparkles. You've got crushed duck's eggs here, and you've got a gold band, bronzish gold band of paint that goes all the way around. It's a ruchy lacquered. It's an ebonite body. You've got a very sparkly section there. And then you have a number 6 size Cypress 18 karat gold medium nib. You can post the cap on this. It's not going to post deeply and it's not going to post securely. I really want to say, like, it's just going to like move around. I want to say it's not really designed to be posted. And honestly, with Urushi or Maki pens, I am always ultra careful because I really don't want to mar the finish there on that pen. So from that perspective, I am always ultra careful. The next pen inked up is the this is the Cypress, and this is the Raden Dragon. And again, this pen is absolutely stunning. This is the second week I've had this one inked up. The detail on this pen is amazing. This was the end of year 2024 Cypress edition pen. Only 5 of these made. I bought one. 2 of my friends in the pen group bought one as well. So 3 out of the 5 were bought from our pen group alone. It really is a beautiful pen. Very similar to the Maki Goldfish, but even nicer. This has a number 6 size Cypress 18 karat gold broad nib, but it does have a dragon on the nib. Can I post a cap? Yes, you can, but again, be careful. You don't want to mar the finish here on that Maki. Yes, it does, I'm sure, have a Urushi coating on it, but this, I would say probably not compared to maybe this one. It doesn't have as much. So I would just be very, very careful on posting caps because you could damage the finish on that. The next pen I haven't had inked up for a long time, and I was actually talking with a friend, and I was like, you know what? I saw this pen in my pen tray, and I was like, I haven't written with this for ages, and this was one of my pens that I really loved writing with. How could I not be writing with this pen? So I inked this one up. It has a number 6 size Visconti 18 karat gold, newer 18 karat gold, medium nib. It's a single reservoir power vac filler, hook safe lock, but it is the Leonardo da Vinci Machina. You got Leonardo da Vinci's signature there, and you got a lot of his drawings etched into this beautiful Maki pen, sort of scribed into the body here. Really, really stunning. So I decided I would ink that one up this week as well. The next pen inked up is this one. Again, a pen I've not inked up for a while. And this is the Visconti Last Templar Jacques de Molay. And you can see on the cap band there, Jacques de Molay. It's got this aged look to it. It's chainmail. It's freaking awesome. It really is. It's a beautiful pen. It's a power vac filling pen. The power vac knob unscrews, and you've got a chalice there as the power vac knob. Lots of threads there, and if I unscrew the cap there, you'll see it's got a 23 karat palladium medium nib there. It has a white feed, which is turned a little bit more greyish looking because white feeds do stain, and I put a grey ink in there. It's a really decent size. I love this pen a lot. I just haven't been writing with it a lot, and I figured I would have to ink up a few more of my Viscontis. I really do like my Visconti pens. And then the next pen inked up is this one, and this is quite an old pen in my collection. It's the Visconti, and it is the Speakeasy. I do have a red jewel there, or my pen finial is not actually a jewel. And if I unscrew the cap, I've got a 23 karat palladium medium nib there, and that is a really nice nib. Now, Speakeasy, as you can see here, it says Speakeasy on the pen, and then you can twist this, and you can choose the alcohol that you put in this pen. Wait, what? Alcohol in a pen? Yes. Not ink, but alcohol. So I've got whiskey on there. That's my favourite tipple. Now, if I just screw this up, this is a celluloid pen. if I unscrew the back here, and I've shown this many times on previous currently inked, you can unscrew this and basically store alcohol in here. And I think it's about 5 or 6 milliliters of alcohol. I typically don't do it, but it actually came with a hip flask, and I filled that with alcohol instead. But it's a nice theme to the pen. If I unscrew the body, or the section to the body, you get a very small converter on it. It will not fit anything else because of that reservoir for the alcohol. But it's a beautiful pen. Now, I did see Stephen Brown has one of these, and I did see that he said that his pen was degrading. Like the cap band had come off, and there were some resin chips or something. Well, this is celluloid. Yeah, I can smell the camphor in that celluloid. So when celluloid starts to degrade, it will shrink or expand. It will crack, and it sounds like that's what's happening with his pen. My pen hasn't done that yet, and I hope it never does. But celluloid is effectively a living organism, so yes, it will do over time. So that's just something you have to be aware of with celluloid pens. The next pen inked up is a Danitrio, and this is a Takumi model, and it is the Moonlit Grass. The reason behind this is you've got the moon here lighting up the grass here on the base of the pen. Love the design of this pen. Love the Takumi shape, sort of cigar shape. Love that they urushi lacquered the clip, and I love that it's an Akatamanuri finish. A darker red Akatamanuri, has a number 6 size, 18 karat gold, fine nib on this. It's a Danitrio fireball nib. I can post the cap, but again, very careful. If you can feel texture on that maquille, I wouldn't do it. Even if it's an ebonite or a resin cap, I still would be very, very careful in doing so. The next pen inked up is the Danitrio, and this is the Ancient Dragon. Again, a beautiful maquille pen. Quite a lot of threads there. Comes with a number 6 size Danitrio fireball nib, and it's an 18 karat gold medium nib. I love the size. The Hyotan model allows you to post that cap. It's really nice. It's a cartridge converter, and I love it. I love this pen. It is Akatamanuri, but it's a little bit more brownish Akatamanuri. Urushi colours do change over time, so they will go more lighter or darker, and that one is a little bit more towards between an Akatamanuri and a Toki Tamanuri. And then the last pen inked up is this one. It's a Danitrio Bamboo Story. Again, a pen that I really love. It's an eyedropper pen. It's a humongous pen, but I love the Akatamanuri on it. Comes with a number 8 size Danitrio fireball nib, and it's an 18 karat gold fine nib. It's just a massive wand of a pen, but I like it. I do like the size of this pen, and I've been on the look over the years for another Bamboo Story in a nice colour, but I've never found one, or if I have, it's been way too much. I think also I prefer the Akatamanuri, so I think going for any other colour probably would be maybe a little bit of a sacrilege, but I do like that Bamboo Story. Glad that I have it in my collection as well. So there you have it. That's my 10 pens current ink for this week. I think let's now go and do a writing sample. So the first pen inked up this week is the Mike Green Juma Golden Dragon. So we'll do an ink swatch here. And you'll see this is a really lovely writing nib. Mike Green has all of his nibs hand-tuned by Kirk Spears of Penrealm. So this is the Mike Green Juma Golden Dragon. and it's a broad and it's a steel Bock nib. And the ink in here is diamine ochre. And like a lot of pen makers, Mike has the ability to create sections for both Bock and Yovo nibs. So I'd say a lot of his nibs are Bock, but he can do Yovo if you prefer Yovo. The next pen inked up is the Visconti Empire. So we'll do an ink swatch here. And this is a wonderful nib, bouncy nib. So love this nib. And it just reminds me actually of several other Visconti nibs that I have. So this is the Visconti Empire. Now this is running out of ink. It's a fine nib. And it's an 18 karat gold nib. It's running on fumes. The ink in here is Visconti. There you go. It's running out of fumes. It is actually out of ink. Let's see if I can just... Can I... Yeah, Visconti turquoise. I just tried to undo the power vac knob and just vacuum it, and it just got a little bit of ink into that nib. It really is out of ink. Now, I'm going to have to decide, do I clean it out and store it, or do I re-ink it? I love writing with that pen. It's going to be a hard decision. The next pen inked up is the Cypress, and this is the Raden Mosaic number 4. So we'll do an ink swatch here. And this is a light ink, light brown ink, saddle brown ink. So this is the Cypress Raden Mosaic number 4. It's a medium and it's an 18 karat gold nib. I think in hindsight I probably should put a darker brown ink in this pen. Maybe I will when it runs out. The ink in here is Robert Oster Muddy Bucket. And I think I might have to do that. I think it's screaming for a darker brown ink. I think it would look better on the page. It probably would write a little bit better as well. The next pen inked up is the Cypress Raden Dragon. So we'll do an ink swatch. And you can see here, again, it's a dry writing nib. This is a Cypress Raden Dragon. And it is it is a broad actually. And it's an 18 karat gold nib. And the ink in here is diamine ochre, which is a nice brown ink. Now, these two diamine ochres look very, very different, but I assure you they are the same ink. The next pen inked up is the Visconti Leonardo da Vinci Machina. So we'll do an ink swatch here. And this is one of those Visconti fine nibs. It's quite bouncy. Again, I love... I say fine nib, actually, it's a medium nib, but it writes more like a fine. So this is the Visconti Leonardo da Vinci Machina. And it's spelt that way. It's a medium and it's an 18 karat gold nib. And the ink in here, again, it is diamine ochre. But hopefully this will show you the 3 different shades that you can get with a similar ink. And I do like diamine ochre. It is a nice colour, brown, that I gravitate towards quite a bit. The next pen inked up is the Visconti Last Templar Jacques de Molay. So we'll do an ink swatch. And again, a beautiful writing nib. This is a 23 cat palladium nib though. So the ink in here is, well, the pen is the Visconti. I'm just going to reread it to Jacques de Molay, because otherwise I will run out of space. It's a medium and it's a 23 cat palladium nib, and it just reminds me why I need to ink up my Viscontis again. The ink in here is Diamine Earl Grey, but this is a spectacular writing pen and nib, and fall for me for not inking that one up for quite a while, because that is a very, very beautiful writing nib. The next pen inked up is the Visconti Speakeasy. So again, we will look at doing an ink swatch on this. And again, one beautiful look at that line variation that you can get out of it. This is a beautiful writing nib, very bouncy, if you're into bouncy writing nibs. So this is the Visconti Speakeasy, and it is a medium and it is a 23 cat palladium nib. These are the palladium nibs at their best. They are beautiful nibs. And then the ink in here is Diamine Poppy Red. But that is a very, very beautiful writing nib, and so love that writing experience. The next one inked up is a Danitrio, and this is a Takumi Moonlit Grass. So we'll do an ink swatch here. And again, this is a bit of a bouncy nib. It's a fine nib though, but I like it. It is quite nice. So this is the Danitrio Moonlit Grass. And it's a fine, and it's an 18 cat gold nib. And the ink in here is, I want to say it is KWZ Beef Eater Red, which is a nice, slightly darker red ink, but still a red ink that I like. The next pen inked up is the Danitrio, and this is a Hyotan, and it is the Ancient Dragon. So we'll do an ink swatch on this as well. So this is an ink swatch here. Now this is a medium nib, but this is also a nice nib. So it is the Danitrio Ancient Dragon. In a medium 18 cat gold nib. And the ink in here is Diamine Poppy Red again. But that is a nice nib. And then last but not least, we have the Danitrio Bamboo Story. So we'll do an ink swatch here. I'm just going to need to move a few things out of the way. So we'll do an ink swatch here. And this is a fine nib, but it's also a very wet writing nib. So this is the Danitrio Bamboo Story. But it's a fine, and it's an 18 cat gold nib. And the ink in here is oh, that's a good question. I want to say that is Diamine Poppy Red, but it looks a little bit darker. So I think let's take a look at these pens inked up one more time. We have a Mike Green Juma Golden Dragon in a broad steel nib inked up with Diamine Ochre. We have a Visconti Empire in a fine 18 karat gold nib inked up with Visconti Turquoise. We have a Cypress Raden Mosaic number 4 in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Robert Oster Muddy Bucket. We have a Cypress Raden Dragon in a broad 18 karat gold nib inked up with Diamine Ochre. We have a Visconti Leonardo da Vinci Machina in an 18 karat gold nib inked up with Diamine Ochre, and you can see the difference between those two alone, if not with the first one as well. We have a Visconti Last Templar Jacques de Molay in a medium 23 karat palladium nib inked up with Diamine Earl Grey. We have a Visconti Speakeasy in a medium 23 karat palladium nib inked up with Diamine Poppy Red. We have a Danitrio Moonlit Grass in a fine 18 karat gold nib inked up with KWZ Beef Eater Red. We have a Danitrio Ancient Dragon Hyotan with a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Diamine Poppy Red. And then last but not least, we have a Danitrio Bamboo Story in a fine 18 karat gold nib inked up with Diamine Poppy Red. So there you have it. That's my current ink pens for this week. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye-bye.